Hi guys, my name's Will from Prior Skis Snowboards, and today I'm going to be showing you how to cut your skins for splitboard or skis. Today I'm going to be showing you on a Brandywine Split 149 XTC carbon, but the same applies for skis as well. The only difference is that the tail clip on the skis is a little bit different, but we'll go into that a bit later on. The reason I'm showing you on a splitboard is because it's a little bit more difficult because it's not symmetrical. As well as your splitboard, you'll obviously need a set of skins. These are the G3 Alpinist skins that I'm using today, but the same really applies to pretty much all kinds of skins. So let's have a look, see what we get. We have a set of skins. So these have a protective layer on them. Some cheat sheets, which I'll explain those later on. Sticker, very important. And a blade for cutting them. So one of the ways you can tell that these are splitboard skins is that the tail clip looks like this, whereas the ski skins have a tail clip that looks like this. The splitboard skin has glue throughout, and you can also tell it is asymmetrical. Take your splitboard and split it in half. Doesn't matter if you have Chinese hooks or Karakoram clips, makes no difference. So split your board in half. And for the purpose of cutting your skins, it will make it easier if you turn your clips out the way. That's one. And there's your other one. That makes it easier when you run the cutting tool down the edge, so you don't hit against the clips when you're cutting your skin. Take any stickers off the board. I've done it before when I stuck them to the stickers, and at the end when I peel my skin off, the stickers are then stuck to the skins, which isn't great. It's time to put the skins on. With the split board, make a note of which side is which. So this is going to be the left side of the board. So let's get this one out of the way. Okay. Obviously if it's ski skins, doesn't matter which side you put them on. Okay, so we're going to peel off this protective layer. Now the important thing when you do this, to make sure you don't get any dirt on the glue. I like to hold it in half like this. It's less likely to get any dirt on it. Next, grab your board half or your ski. This is where it gets a little bit complicated. So you're going to attach the nose like so. And without trying to stick it too much on it, so it isn't actually glued down just yet, I'm going to pull the skin fairly tight and try and line it up so you have an equal amount of skin overlapping on each side. Okay, next thing we want to do is, that looks pretty straight, but we're just going to make sure all the wrinkles are out of the skin. I like to do it with this, and it just glides a little bit easier. Now you can actually see, here we don't actually have any skin overlapping, and there is a bit of a wrinkle in it. So I will probably do that again. Okay, so this time, as you can see, you can't see any of the edge. And that's a much better fit. Now don't worry if that takes you 3 or 4, 10 times. Just make sure you get it right, because once you cut them, there's no going back. So I'm pretty happy with this. Looks on nice and straight and no wrinkles. So now I'm going to attach the tail clip. So with the tail clip, you're going to have to adjust it to length. And you want it nice and snug. Now a lot of people would be tempted just to pull this straight over the top. And that's actually just, causing extra work. So what you want to do is just over the curved side and then pull it over like that. Okay, so we're ready to cut. So you will need your skin cutting tool. Your skins are obviously smooth one way and rough the other way. Now, if you're right-handed like me, you might be tempted to cut this one side with your strong arm, turn it around, and do the same again with your strong arm. Now, if you do that, one cut will be with the grain, which is great, and the other cut will be against it. It'll still work, you'll still cut your skins, but you'll just have a slightly rougher cut. So you're much better off, which I found in my experience, cutting one with your stronger arm and then cutting the other side with the grain. And if you have any doubt of which the grain is, you can just run your hand down it. Rough this way, smooth the other way. And yes, cut the other side with your weaker arm. We're going to slide it in under the skin. We're going to make sure this is pressed up firmly against the ski edge or the splitboard edge, and we're going to start cutting. Now don't be afraid if you have to do this in several goes. I've cut many skins, so if it takes you a few tries, don't worry about it. The other thing some people worry about is that now we have this edge left behind. That's what you want. You want this little edge, so when you do have to stick your edges in, you can actually get some purchase. Okay, so same again on the other side. You can slide it in like this. Begin your cut. You can see that I'm using my left hand here. So although it's not my strong side, it is still cutting very cleanly because we're going with the grain. You'll also notice that as these were turned out the way, I had no problems running the tool past them. So now we have our skin, which is specifically cut for a Brandywine 149. If you have any things you want to retrim, don't be afraid to go back in with the tool and go again. So we're now going to use the cheat sheets that I showed you were in the bag. So these are your cheat sheets, or some people call them skin savers. And this is basically just a fine mesh that these days comes with most sets of skins. So the reason we use this is because when you stick a skin to itself, it's very difficult to come apart. So at least for storage anyway, we're going to stick it to the cheat sheet. Line this up. Doesn't have to be too precise. And then pull the rest of the skin off. And as you go, just pat it down. Like so. And now we'll do the other one. So same again, instead of trying to heave this over the end, just slide it over and Bob's your uncle. So for this one, as you already have a nice cheat sheet laid out for you, pull your skin off and lay it down on the cheat sheet. Be careful not to get any dirt on it. If you do it in a nice clean environment, that would be better. If you like, you can trim this just with a normal pair of scissors to size. Yeah, these are ready to roll up. Not a bad idea to write your name or even just the splitboard model that they have been cut for on the bag, even on the top of the skin. And when drying your skins, make sure you keep them away from any heat sources to prolong the life of the glue. If you choose not to use the cheat sheets, if you stick the skin to itself, especially with no snow on it at all, I'll show you, so it doesn't damage it, it's okay to do it, but when you pull them apart, it's much more difficult. You can use a little trick, you can use your legs to pull them apart like that, but that's kind of what happens if you don't use the cheat sheets. Now having said that, in the backcountry, you're probably going to have a little bit of snow on the skins, so it's not the end of the world if you do stick them to each other, because it's going to be a little bit easier to pull them apart. Also, with the wind blowing, you don't have a nice flat surface. It can be pretty difficult to line up the cheat sheet. So a lot of people, when they're in the backcountry, they don't bother using the cheat sheets. They'll just use them for storage. Okay, so there we are. Skins are all cut. Hopefully that's made it a little bit easier for you guys to cut your skins. Just remember, take your time. It's gonna be a lot easier if you're not rushing it. And I'll see you out in the backcountry. So let's take a look what's in the bag and how to use it all. Oh, damn it! It's all caught up.